You are welcome to LFN What's Your Say? The #1 listening show, where we discuss real important issues with real people like you. We are still featuring R. Kelly. Real name, Robert Sylvester Kelly. Also known as the R&B King. Does everyone else take off a moment to think about what R. Kelly's case could be all about like I do? And are you even able to find an answer to this? It's difficult to understand why R. Kelly was indicted in the first place, considering all the abuse and harassment being described was never characteristic of his relationships with these women. It's difficult to imagine how R. Kelly could be guilty of all the crimes he didn't commit. No wonder the court did not charge him for most of the prejudicial claims that were made against him, such as kidnap and physical abuse among others. What this means, however, is that all these were simply mentioned to strip him of his public image, so that the jury can be biased enough to give him all guilty verdicts for the 10 counts which they eventually did. A close look at all R. Kelly's relationships with each of the women responsible for sending him to prison will reveal to you that there wasn't anything alarming with the way he treated them. And most of the crazy things they describe as things they did for him were completely voluntary, and largely when they were above 18. Why do I suggest they were largely done above the age of 18? Most of the women that testified against him apart from the Jane and Chicago court, have mentioned that they were just a few months away from turning 18 when they met with R. Kelly.
How old was Dominique when this was happening?
She was 17.
17, right.
There is no way to convince us that in the few months of meeting, R. Kelly managed to get involved with them, violate them like the media and allegations suggested, and transport them across state lines for immoral reasons, all in a span of 3 to 4 months. Remember, if someone says I met R. Kelly when I was 17 going to 18, it's not typical that they have anywhere over 4 months crossover to the new age. Remember, a year has only 12 months, and therefore making 6 months half a year. Going to 18 therefore revolves somewhere around 2 to 4 months. In these few months of meeting someone, if R. Kelly was to engage them in all the activities and events being described, considering he had multiple girlfriends, he would need to be doing something sinister to a woman every single day. Considering he had to go to studio and also write songs and produce them, if he also had to spare off time to go abuse these women, no human would keep up with such a tight schedule. Even the strongest of men would wear out and collapse with such overwhelming duty. These women, in their unending attempts to denounce the R&B King, mention things they voluntarily did, like crawling towards him, and calling him daddy. And they want the world to blame him for this. If you decide that the way you make your arrival in the bedroom is on 4 limbs, it's indeed your business with your man. You shouldn't be taking such comments and claims to the courtroom. Almost everyone has something they did in the past that they regret, but they take full accountability of their actions because it was all voluntary. It's completely no one's fault if that's your style. Besides, there are many things people do in bed that could have been regarded inappropriate in the past, but the world got used to them and are now regarded normal. There is simply no limit on how one may want to exercise their romance in the bedroom. Taking a man to court because of his sexual preferences is certainly not what we expect from our legal system. A close analysis of the R. Kelly situation will make you realize that he is largely in prison for failed relationships. It shouldn't be a crime for a relationship to fail. But it looks like the government is asking R. Kelly, why did you choose to break their hearts and not choose one of them from among the group? Since when did it become the role of government to determine how a woman should make an appearance in the bedroom? Since when did it become their role to mediate settlements in broken relationships? The only thing I expect government to talk about is the age issue, and for this they must provide proof that they were below 18 when they started indulging with him like they say. And even if there were issues, 30 years is not the going time for this. Otherwise, when court decides to take their word against R. Kelly's, we begin to wonder, why are they choosing to believe them and not him? Is it a matter of who they prefer to believe over the other? Or shouldn't it be a matter of the facts presented and proved? For those in relationships, it's time to hold on tight, because if your relationship fails, the government will want to hear your case and understand what happened. Looking at what the government has done to R. Kelly makes us think twice whether we should be dating women anymore. Just in case they get disappointed and run to court. It's quite disturbing to see that physical abuse was also on the list of charges, yet none of R. Kelly's girlfriends or ex-wives has any physical signs of abuse to show. There is no record of medical personnel attending to any of them post-abuse like it normally should happen. No emergency calls to the police, no scars, nothing to show that these women wanted to leave R. Kelly, even when they were way above 20 years as adults. It sounds hypocritical, therefore, for them to state that they were underage when these things happened, yet they were still with him and remained at his mansion even when they were way over 22 years old. Now here is the interpretation of what happened. R. Kelly clashed with Sony, the record label that handled his music business, when he asked that he be paid his billions of dollars and threatened to sue. Sony made the decision to take him down. While a number of his girlfriends had already left him as the finances had greatly reduced, those that remained with him and defended him did not have an idea how big and influential Sony was, and that R. Kelly was likely to take a big fall. So they spoke the truth about him and innocently defended him on social media. Even at the Gayle King interview, everything they said was correct. But later on, when they realized that the boat was actually sinking, certainly none wanted to sink along with it. And so they take the leap and jump out, joining the rest in testifying against R. Kelly with the hope of walking away with a share of the restitutions government promised them. And of course this entire process was made easier for them by the feds, who met all their financial needs, including enabling them commute to and from court. And this too is a conflict of interest. According to Eric Neal, the Brooklyn federal judge Ann Donnelly was cold and prejudicial throughout the entire trial. She never gave R. Kelly the benefit of doubt that he could be innocent. I am wondering whether she even should be a judge, because she just isn't fair. I have watched over the years how the government lies, kills and steals. They will do and say anything just to get a win against this man. According to Mercy Tackle, so everything these people accused and judged him for wasn't true after all, and people who followed blindly believed it. I'm actually not a fan of his, but loved one of his songs, Storm Is Over. The first time I heard about R. Kelly's jail stories on infamous Sylvia's page, I couldn't believe my ears. At that moment I felt my spirit say to me, this man is being accused falsely and charged for something he has not done. Never ever in my life did I believe those crooks, and I diligently prayed for him. This industry and some friends can be so evil at heart. Why would you treat a human being like that, knowing very well everything they say against him is a lie? Like, think about it. Can you even sleep or eat knowing you accusing someone falsely? I just can't. Free R. Kelly. If you wish to take part in a live interview discussing any of these topics, let us know by sending an email to sashalfnmedia@gmail.com for scheduling. Thank you for watching today's video, a production of LFN Media, giving you another perspective of issues at hand. We make it our business to keep you updated with the truth amidst the cloud of lies the media wants you to believe. It is therefore important to subscribe to this channel, hit the bell icon and allow all notifications so that you don't miss out whenever we publish a new video.